Welcome to episode 1 of Girl Get Up Again. And baby, this one is personal. Welcome back to Girl Get Up Again. I have my producer behind the scenes, and he will be interviewing me on this first episode.
Listen, it's an honor, privilege, just to hang out with you. First of all, your team and everything that you got going on. I will say right now that everything that you do, I see is in excellence. You don't play any games.
No, I told you I'm a diva.
Yeah, I see that. Shout out to Girl Get Up Again podcast episode 1. I'm excited just to even, produce, and thank you for, choosing Dream Media to hang out with you and do this thing for you. My first question is, where did the name come from?
The name came from back in November of 2025. I was sleeping, and here lately, God has been waking me up around 3-4 o'clock in the morning, and He said, "Girl, you have to get up again, and I need you to do X, Y, and Z." He gave me the name. He gave me everything. In December, we started. He and I collaborated with God on this one, you guys, because it's been interesting. It's an interesting journey, but he gave me the steps and what I needed to do. In January, I created my DBA, followed
Okay.
instructions, and then I came to see you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just that back to back like that.
Back to back like that in a matter of less than 90 days.
Now, I there's a significant, name here, but what's most significant to me is the again part. Can you help me understand that? I always been the one. When I remember when I was creating your logo, and I was like, man, this is cool. Like how she said again, but we never really
Again.
kind of did a deep dive on that.
That's right. We did not. But again, I'm in my 60th chapter of my life.
Okay.
And I've had so many setbacks. They haven't all been pretty. They've been ugly. They've been things that have happened in my life that people see you and they see you dressed up. They see you looking cute. They see you smelling good. And they think, oh, this girl has not gone through anything. But throughout these 60 chapters, I've had to get up multiple times. I've had divorces. I have a blended family, so everything is different. So when you get up again, my business, I've lost businesses, and I've recreated businesses. But one thing that has stand firm is my faith in God. So you can take my money, you can take my honey, but you can't take my God.
Okay, I like that. So let me ask you this one question before I go into the backstory of you personally. Because I watch a lot of movies, short films, and always you notice that all good movies starts with the tragedy at first, and then you go back to like how did she survive, or how did he survive that? If you don't mind being transparent, and if you
Do you want the nitty gritty? I'll give you the nitty
yeah, if you
gritty.
don't mind being transparent, what is the one thing that you can say, wow, God, you got me out of that, and that was one of the hardest things I've ever went through.
Okay. Well, I'm going to be very transparent, and a lot of people do not know this about me, but I grew up on the east side of the tracks in West Texas in a little town called La Mesa. And back in the 60s, 70s, it was different. It was beautiful. It had a lot of greenery, and we call it the barrio. I grew up in the barrio. I'm from the hood. I made a decision at age 10 to not be a product of my environment. I saw my mother. I had a heroin addicted dad. So I saw her having to live through that. I saw what drugs do to a family. There's stealing, there's cheating, there's a lot of everything. So I saw which is really ironic because I saw the police coming to my house a lot. A lot. And it wasn't because of my immediate family, it was because of my dad.
Wow.
Yeah. And I saw him abuse my mom, and I mean, I saw a lot of things growing up that you normally don't see. And the decision was, I will not live that way.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, what, if you could, what was one of the most traumatic things that you did see?
I think one of the most traumatic is my dad passed away when I was 10 years old.
Oh, wow.
And the Hilburn family comes from Poteet, Texas.
Okay.
My mom and dad met in La Mesa, Texas. And when my dad passed away, there was a lot of bickering between the family, my mom and the Hilburn family. And normally, when someone passes away, you guys, you go to a funeral home and you view the body. So my most traumatic thing that happened was I'm 10 years old, I'm in my living room, and there's a casket, there's a funeral director in my living room.
Whoa.
Because this is how much my mom fought to keep my dad in La Mesa.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you remember that moment
Like if it was yesterday.
like it was just at 10. That's, man, that's a, man. So from that point on, could you feel that your life has probably, because I was reading one day about, I don't know if you ever read about something called a paradigm shift. You ever heard of that?
Mine shifted at age 30.
Really?
That's when it hit me. That's when everything hit me, at age 30.
Really?
Yes.
The whole process
The whole process. I had to feel the emotions. You know, you're young and
you don't
really process. You
Yeah.
know, you have your family telling you can't see the Hilburn side of your family because, you know, it's kind of like the Hatfields and the McCoys. There's bickering.
Yeah.
And they don't stop to think there's children in the middle,
Yeah.
you know. Yeah.
Do you find yourself on a journey? And obviously, because I remember what we did talk about was your amazing guests that you're bringing onto your
Oh my
podcast
gosh.
and their stories of how they were able to get back up again. Do you feel like these things that you went through are the fuel to your fire? Because you got a magazine, you have a whole I mean, you're not playing any
I'm not
games
playing
with your
games.
business right now, but do you feel that has a lot to do with it?
I think my business, the guests that I brought on, they're very much handpicked, not by me. Because if I was going to pick them, I would have gone to my friends.
Oh.
Yeah, I would have gone to my friends. These are all, a few of them I know, but a lot of them I'm meeting here at the show. This is the first time I'm going to interview them.
Wow. Okay.
But God was very specific.
Wow.
He's like, girl, get up again. You're not the only one that has fallen once, twice, 3 times. You know, this is very specific.
If there was a message, like at this moment, if there was a message that you could tell a younger version of you, I feel like sometimes we have to talk to our, even though we're adults, do you feel like you're still a kid?
I do.
Like, so it's like,
I do.
it's like you're a kid, but you got to tell
Oh my gosh,
yourself.
you're reading my mind.
Right, it's like you're a kid, but you got to tell yourself, you're grown, so you can't do that. You know what I mean?
I do that every day because while I'm 60, I don't feel like I'm 60.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm in my 30s, and I have to keep reminding myself that while I'm not 10 anymore,
Right.
this version of me, I tell myself, my 10-year-old self, that was just a moment. God healed you from that moment. Now you can help other women, other girls in your situation, other kids that have lost their parent, either a mother or a father, because of tragedy, because of drugs, whatever the reason may be. You will be somebody.
No matter what.
No matter what.
So, girl, get up again.
Again and again and again.
And again and again.
Do not stay stagnant.
Do you feel like, because it seemed like, I heard people talk about marathon, but look, I think some people's walk of life is more like a hurdle.
Yes.
And you're hopping over one after another and after another. What is another hurdle that you feel like, because you said it hit you at 30, which I'm very curious to see how from 10 to 30, how was life for
Well,
you?
I got married. I thought he was my high school sweetheart. The only thing that came out of that marriage was abuse and a beautiful son.
Okay.
And I think that I had to deal with the combativeness that the volatile. He was very volatile with me,
Okay.
so I had to deal with that. But I did nurse him back to health. In our 20s, he had a heart murmur. I had to find medical assistance for him because, you're young, you're just newlyweds. You don't know any of this. Nobody told me he had heart issues. Because I'll tell you one thing, Dream, if someone had told me, I would have reconsidered my decision.
I wanted to ask you about that because I have a daughter.
Hmm.
What advice could you give me when it comes to her dating or anybody that's looking right now dating? What are some signs, some red flags of abuse? You said violence, so I don't know.
Yes, he was. I mean, it was. He would lock me in the closet after we got divorced. I got violated physically after we got divorced. He kidnapped my son 5 times. And back then, they didn't have Amber Alerts. Back then, they had, I have to leave my job, get out of the hospital, whatever situation you're in, and you have to go pretend you love this person, stay with him for weeks to get his trust back so you can get your son back.
Wow.
Yeah. So what I would say to your daughter or any young lady out there is you have to really look at their behavior because they're going to be very nice to you initially. They're going to love on you. And I think it's worse when you don't grow up with a dad in the house. Reason being is you're going to show your daughter what love is. You're going to show your daughter how a man should treat a woman, But if you don't grow up with that and you're already in a dysfunctional situation, it is really going to turn things around. So you're not going to see the red flags, which I should have because I come from a family of family violence.
Right. So
domestic violence.
Right.
Yeah.
But do you feel like they say? I think the saying, "What love is blind."
Love really is blind.
So you didn't see any. You didn't catch any of the.
I caught him because I did throw the engagement ring back at him.
Okay.
So I knew it was there.
Yeah.
But I think for me, being the oldest daughter, I wanted to get out of my house. And that
Gotcha.
was the only way I saw a way out was getting married.
Got you.
Because I wasn't going to live with him. I had to get married.
Got you. And you said you said he kidnapped your son 5 times?
5 times.
How does that work?
So I was wanting to build a relationship where, you know what, this is about our kid. This is not about me and you.
Okay.
But he had a different idea. I think because I was being nice to him and I would allow him to stay in my place and he would take advantage of that. And then when I wouldn't give in to him, that's when he would take him. He took him out of school. He took him when I was in the hospital. He broke into my house when I lived in Lubbock, and he had nunchucks, brass knuckles, everything. And I'm like, in a bat that was taped up and all of this. And you're thinking, dude, I'm done, I nursed you back to health. You went out and did your little thing. I'm not that woman to put up with that.
Where did you find the strength to get through all that?
When I still have it. I still have what keeps my strength. Back then, I don't know if you remember, but there were videotapes. So you had these big video cameras, right?
Yeah.
And we recorded his 2nd birthday. His 2nd birthday should have been a celebration of our son. Let's do this. Let's have, the kids are here. But when I replayed the tape, it had him talking about how he sowed his royal oats this weekend because he was gone the whole weekend. And when I heard that, I loaded my car, moved to Lubbock. The only thing that was in my car was my clothes, my son's clothes, a TV, and his game back then they had Atari and all those kind of games.
So, on your journey going through this, and I see that you're a strong woman of faith. When did you, meet God in the midst of all this, or did it happen later on in your life?
No, it happened at age 7.
Wow.
And then after age 10, I completely gave my life to the Lord. There was this little lady, her name was Jerry Mall, and during the summer, she would come in her station wagon and pick up kids in the neighborhood to go to her church.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So at 30, where were you at? What were you doing? And what was the time where everything hit you?
Collapsed. Everything just hit me.
Yes. What were you? What was going on? What was the trigger? What was the eureka moment?
The eureka moment was, I told you it wasn't going to be pretty. That moment was, I was remarried, and my son had gone to his dad's. His dad did not bring him back. I had to keep going through court. And I see an article that my ex-husband brought into court about my dad. He had to go dig up this BS.
Wow.
To throw it in my face. Now I think, you know what, that's the best thing he could have done for me. At the moment, I was really hurt and upset, and I couldn't believe that someone would stoop that low. But it gave me clarity. It allowed me to feel. The suppressed feelings that I had came out.
Got you. And then it started. Now that was the paradigm shift.
That was the shift.
So now you are this real estate mogul. And how did career-wise go from, here's the paradigm shift, 30, I don't know what you were doing at that time career-wise, to where you are today and the obstacles of how you got here? I mean, you're very successful what you're doing.
Well, thank you. Well, I actually started my first business at 17.
Oh, wow.
I had a tax and bookkeeping company. I helped people fill out all their immigration documents. But prior to that, I worked for the police department and the justice of the peace in La Mesa. So that kind of helped me because you don't realize discrimination. Because even though I'm Hispanic, my last name is not Hispanic. So when I went for my first job interview and they called my name, Janie Hilburn, and this was a Hispanic manager, I got up and he kept asking for Janie Hilburn. And I'm like, I'm Janie. And he's like, well, no, I was expecting a blonde, blue-eyed girl. I said, nope, you get me.
Wow.
So I started my business. I'm like, I will not allow anyone to do that to me. So when I moved to Dallas in 1986, I worked for attorneys, but I also worked for the Spanish TV station. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I know. Look at me.
There you go. What you do at the TV station?
I was a sales assistant, but we also had a show in the morning, like the morning show, but it was in Spanish.
You were on the show?
I was on the show. I was I also played a character. And that kind of got me to, I remember that my sales manager, his name was Luis, and I remember him telling me, Janie, you do not belong confined behind 4 walls.
Yeah.
Your personality is more than that. So I continued with my business, but, when you're a single mom at that time, when I first moved to Dallas, you need to have that stability, but also have a business. And I just continued. I've had a business since I was 17.
So 17. What other businesses had you had prior to the real estate? I mean, because
I have a tax and bookkeeping company.
Okay.
And then in 97, I started doing Mary Kay. So as you can see, I love makeup.
There you go. Okay. Did you get a pink Cadillac?
I drove the red Grand Am.
Oh, wow.
I was a sales director.
All right.
I had my own mortgage company.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And during that time, my then husband, I had him become a realtor, and we were a team. And then he didn't like real estate anymore, doing the real estate part. So my girlfriend and I did a business plan and helped him open a bilingual title company.
Okay.
Yeah. And I was a loan officer. So when my son became a mortgage broker in 2014, I transitioned to the real estate part, the realtor. And in 2022, I became a broker.
Became a broker in 2022, and that's where you stand now.
That's where I stand now.
Now, let me ask you this: from 17 to now, I noticed that you said, "Girl, get up again and again and again
And
and
again.
again." Share with us, because I think it's important in this podcast, because you said something really strong. You said, just because how I look right now today.
Well, I'm judged because of my looks.
Yeah.
You know, it's one thing is I grew up and I have 3 siblings. I have 2 brothers and I have a sister. And I'm the one out of the 4 of us that likes to dress up. I'm the one that is like all diva-ish.
Yeah.
And my other brothers and my sister, they're not that I'm not down to earth. People think that because I dress up, they prejudge me, but they don't know my personality. They don't know who I am. They don't know the heart I have.
You from the block.
I'm from the block. I'm Janie from the block.
Janie from the block.
Literally the block.
What is some business? Because, man, I'll tell you right now, I'm an entrepreneur coach. I meet so many entrepreneurs. I have a heart for the entrepreneur. I have a heart for the underdog. For the ladies that are listening, or gentlemen that are listening, what are some of the trials of that where you were down but you got back up in business that you could share with us?
Well, I'm going to tell you this one thing, and I spoke about this a few years ago, and I spoke about it probably in 2018, 2019, after my nephew had passed away, and it was the hardest thing for me to speak about at that moment because I was grieving. I didn't know I was grieving, but I was grieving. The biggest thing is you're the only one that can demote or promote yourself.
Unpack that.
I have had life happen. If I choose not to work, my business is not going to grow.
Mm-hmm.
How much are you going to be disciplined towards your business? What are you going to do that is going to make today matter? What are you going to do? Are you going to sit on the couch and watch TV or play your games or watch TikTok? TikTok is now.
Yeah.
So you can stay there for hours at a time, but what are you going to do today that is going to make a difference in your life tomorrow? What are you going to do?
What are you going to do? Now, mental health is talked about a lot. It's very
Yes.
openly now. I don't remember mental health being talked at. I mean, it's very open now. I think I heard my son, he's 9 years old, singing a song with anxiety in it. I'm like, bro, you don't even know what anxiety
know.
is.
They don't even know what we went through.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
anxiety.
Yeah, what are we saying? But as far as your mental health and clarity, what are you able to do, or can you share with others that helps you mentally bounce back, from the dark times
From
mentally?
heartbreak, from violence, from...
Yes.
For me, I think it really is staying rooted, because I have not always been this clean. And when I say clean, I don't mean just my attire. I mean where you have a drinking binge. And I didn't know what that was because, when you come from where I come from, you can't go and talk to a counselor. They think you're crazy in your family. If you go and talk to a therapist, or if you want to seek help, oh, no, you're crazy. You don't want to do that. But realistically, I have gone to a counselor for the last 20 years. I have a counselor. I have a life coach. I do what I need to do to keep myself sane.
How often do you go to your coach and your life coach? I mean, is it once a month, once a week?
Once a month.
Once a month. And
if I need it more, it's more.
Yeah. And would you say that, to be successful, it's necessary? I mean, to have somebody.
Oh, absolutely.
Because that's called personal development. a lot of people kind of don't understand how important a mentor is. Can you share with us how important a life coach or a mentor could be to anyone?
Well, for me and anyone out there, I can tell you that I've been mentoring my assistant for the last year and a half. I've seen her growth, but I see what it's done to me as well. It's challenged me because when I'm like, oh my God, this is way too much. I have to step back and realize that I was there at some point, and somebody said, "You're too much."
Mm.
But having a life coach is kind of like having a best friend that you can tell anything to,
Yeah.
and it's going to stay there, but they're going to help you grow.
Yeah.
And as a mentor for me, and I've always told anyone that has worked with me, any team member, I want you to be more successful than I am. Because if you're more successful than me, guess what? I've done my job right.
What is the main thing that, or the main point that you want to get across to all these amazing? Because we got some great shows coming up
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
But what is your main? Like, I want you to have a selfish moment for you. And what is your main focus on this podcast? And I'm gonna say this: a lot of people don't realize what I love about podcasts or recording or anything. Notice that this statement that's about to come out your mouth will outlive you.
It will.
And
It
so,
will.
what is your legendary focus for this podcast?
Me. It's about me. I don't want to be selfish, but I am. This is about me. This is about me having gone through all the experiences, having gone through all the turmoil, having gone through all the drama, everything that has made me who I am today. So this podcast is allowing me to sit here and be able to meet dynamic women where they're at, what they've gone through, and what got them how they got up again.
Mm. Do you feel like, because I know how this feels, but I wonder if you feel the same way. Do you feel like this was a calling for you? Do you feel like this is a purpose? Do you feel like you couldn't run away from this, whether you liked it or not?
I couldn't. I think my passion has always been single moms, single women. Let me help them. How do I help them? But I can't fix anybody. I had to stop fixing, and I had to start working on me. But in order to work on me, it's going to help someone else. So this is really going to, for me, be about the single moms and the women that think they can't get up again. Because I'm here to tell you, girl, you can get up again, again, and again, and again. I'm living proof.
What's the special message to mothers, single mothers, since you mentioned it, that have been abandoned with the child? The father just left. And
Or you left the father.
or either way.
Either way.
They had to leave or the father left.
The father left,
but it's
or
just
you
them
left.
and the child now. It's just them. What would your message as a mentor, personal coach, woman of God, what would you say to that woman right now?
First of all, I would say that you have got to have God on your side. Secondly, if your family is not a support, because there's a lot of single moms out there that do not have a family as a support, find you a village. There's a village out there that will help you and that will guide you and get you to the next step.
I love that. The importance of a village. Now, how do you help them find that village? That's a great...
Yeah.
Now, what are the signs of a good village?
I think for me, what I'm noticing, and I see that a lot with what I'm going through externally, not personally, but I see it like with women that I talk to. If they don't have the support, I always tell them, you have to find someone you trust. And if they're trying to come in right away, step back, reevaluate, and pray about it.
Don't go too fast.
No, don't go too fast. Because if you go too fast, you're jumping into something that you have no clue what's happening.
Yeah.
And it's going to affect your children.
Yeah. I always say, in relationships, I don't feel like you truly know someone until you go through something.
Right. Well, if you're sick and nobody's there.
Right.
If you're in jail, hopefully not. But, my mom always told me, you always know who your friends are if you're sick or you're in jail. And I said,
Wow.
Mom, I hope I'm never in jail. And thank you, Jesus, I haven't been. But I've been sick. So I know, or my family has been sick. And that tells you a lot who your friends are.
Hmm. Now you're mentoring right now.
I
So
am.
you have a do you have a group? Can you talk to us about your mentoring, your coaching, the stuff that you have? Because probably somebody is looking at this right now and maybe want to be a part of what you have going on. How does this work, and how can people get in contact with you?
Well, the mentoring is really by referral.
Okay.
It's by, I don't just, but it's by referral. And I have two different mentorships. One is my agents,
Okay.
because that's business. And then the other one is on a personal level.
Got you.
So they can call me or they can send me a message, but they can send me an email at girlgetupagain2026@gmail.com.
There you go. Now, I love that you're doing the real estate and you're mentoring people in the real estate. There's a lot of realtors out there, and particularly women.
Mm-hmm.
In this business, the real estate business can be challenging.
It can.
Right? Depending on when they're seeing in this video, I don't know, where this video will land when they see it, but what are some things in the real estate for women that you can give them some nuggets on? Number one, foundation of how they can overcome adversities. Number two, what are some good things that they can, go after and how they can get lead generation. And number three, how to be around a village like yours and staying plugged into the Girl Get Up Again
Get up
podcast.
again. Number one, women. There's a lot of women out there that feel that you have to show your body.
Mm.
You don't.
I've seen a lot of that.
You don't have to show your brain. Your brain is more attractive than showing your cleavage, showing everything, because you're going to get people for the wrong reasons. You may be attacked out there because we're very vulnerable out there.
Yeah.
And if you're not packing a 22
Yeah.
or a 9
Yeah.
or, I am.
Yeah. Let it be known.
I am.
Don't run up on Jenny from the
Don't
block.
run up on me because, yes, I am.
Gotcha.
And it's because we're more vulnerable. Women don't realize that when you go show a house, let them walk in first.
Right.
They want to walk in to show.
Yeah.
But that's when you're at your most weakest.
Yeah.
And as far as lead generation, what we do for our team is I teamed up with a success coach. So I offer that to my agents. You want to learn how to do 12 to 24 deals extra a month? Then I'll show you how to do that.
Okay.
If you're willing to put in the work.
Gotcha.
Because people think we just dress up, we look cute, we drive a car, we go eat, we do this. They don't see behind the scenes. It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And you have to team up with people that have the same energy as you.
Yeah.
That are wanting what you want and help you get there.
Yes. I think that is probably the top tier.
Mm-hmm.
Because I did a video the other day where I say, I don't know if this makes sense to you, that I'd rather run with 1,000 than drag 3.
Correct.
And you want to get with people that are in same proximity, mind framed of you,
right,
and understanding where you want to go. What are some closing remarks that you can say to any woman that got knocked down? And they might be down while they're looking at this video right now.
Exactly.
What is something that you can leave a takeaway for all of your listeners, your future village that you're creating right now?
No, we're
which
creating
is
a village. We're creating a
village,
movement here.
right? For your village. What is a takeaway for us before we get out of here?
For it, especially for women, I really feel that you have to have clarity. Know what you're doing. You have to have a 30, 60, 90-day plan. If you don't have that and you don't work on that every day, you're just going around in circles.
I love that.
You're just going around in circles.
Now, with your plan, do you write things down?
I write them down.
You have to write it down.
I write them down because I have to. I'm a note taker. I like to take notes.
Mm-hmm.
in myself, but I also have boards like on Trello. I have different boards. I use technology as much as I can to my
Yeah.
advantage.
Yeah.
I'm not on there every day because I don't want to be sucked in.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
don't get sucked into technology. Don't get sucked into thinking you need to do content every day. You have to work on you before you can put content, because I'll tell everybody, if you see my Facebook page, that's me being authentic.
Mm.
What you see there and what you see here is the same thing.
Yeah.
Because I told you earlier, I'm sassy, classy, and a bit smart assy.
And that is how you close it out.
That's how you close.
Listen, I want to tell you, and I'm serious about this. I am super proud of you.
Thank you.
From conception to talking about it to being here. This is a big day from you. Everybody that's around you is celebrating you right now.
Thank you.
We're celebrating you right now. Congratulations.
Thanks.
And the bet, if you build it,
They will. Oh my God! I told my assistant that. I said, if you build it, they will come.
if you build it,
But
they
if
will
you
come.
build it when God tells you, it's perfect.
There you go.
It's perfect.
Listen, we're super proud of you.
Thank you.
Shout out to your
Whoop,
number
whoop.
one episode, your first episode, the pilot show of Girl Get Up,
Get up
Again. Look forward to seeing you on the next show.
Let's do it.